On a cold morning in Columbus, Ohio, the city moved like it always did. Buses sighed as they stopped and started. Cars rolled past with fogged windows. People hurried through Franklin Park, collars up, eyes down, chasing their own deadlines. On a wooden bench near a line of bare trees sat Daniel Carter. He was 34 years old, a U.S. Army veteran, and a single father. Daniel had not eaten since the previous afternoon. His stomach ached, but he had learned how to ignore pain. The Army had taught him that. What hurt more was the folded photograph in his jacket pocket, a small picture of his 6-year-old daughter, Emily, smiling with 2 missing teeth. Daniel touched the photo gently, like it might disappear. He had $5 left. $5 that had to last until something changed. The wind moved through the park, carrying the sound of a city bus braking nearby. Daniel watched it pull away, its windows full of warm faces. He wondered when Emily would next ask him why he was always tired. He stood up slowly, boots worn thin at the soles, and walked toward a small grocery store across the street. The smell of hot food drifted out each time the door opened. His body reacted before his mind did. Inside, the lights were bright and unforgiving. Daniel counted his money again. He chose the cheapest bread, a can of soup, nothing more. As he reached the checkout, he noticed an elderly man standing near the door. The man wore a coat too thin for winter. His hands shook as he tried to adjust a scarf that no longer stayed in place. The man caught Daniel looking and gave a weak smile. Something tightened in Daniel's chest. Outside, the wind cut sharper. Daniel stepped away from the store and looked again at what he had bought. Bread, soup, enough for one small meal, maybe 2 if he stretched it. He thought of Emily. Then he thought of the man's shaking hands. Daniel stood there longer than he meant to. Cars passed. A motorbike growled down the street. The city kept moving, uncaring. Finally, Daniel turned around. He walked back to the elderly man and held out the grocery bag. The man stared, confused. "No," the man said softly, "that's yours." Daniel shook his head. His voice was calm, even though his stomach burned. "I'll be okay." The man's eyes filled with tears he did not let fall. He took the bag like it was something holy. "Thank you," he whispered. Daniel nodded once and walked away. He did not look back. By the time he reached the park bench again, the hunger felt heavier. He sat down, hands resting on his knees, breathing slowly. Across the park, a woman had seen everything. Her name was Rachel Moore. She had come to the park to clear her mind before work. She had not planned to notice anyone. But she did. She watched the veteran walk away empty-handed. She raised her phone, not knowing why, and recorded a short clip. No faces close up, just a moment. A man giving away food, then sitting alone. Daniel did not know any of this. He only knew that the day felt long, and that kindness once given could not be taken back. That night, Daniel slept lightly on the bench. The city did not stop for him. A helicopter passed overhead, its distant rhythm fading into the dark. Somewhere nearby, a bus engine idled. The park lights hummed. When morning came, Daniel woke to a voice. "Sir, are you okay?" He opened his eyes to see a young man holding a cup of coffee. Daniel tried to sit up too fast and felt dizzy. He steadied himself and nodded. "I'm fine, thank you." The young man hesitated. "I saw a video last night. I think it was you." Daniel frowned. He did not own much. Fame was not one of those things. By noon, he understood. Rachel's short video had spread, first across local pages, then further. People shared it with captions about kindness and quiet strength. Someone mentioned the way Daniel walked away without pride. Someone else noticed the dog tags around his neck. A local reporter found him near the park. Daniel did not want attention, but he answered honestly. He spoke about the Army, about losing Emily's mother, about trying to keep going. "I didn't do anything special," he said. "I just helped someone who needed it." By evening, strangers came with food, warm meals, clean water. One woman pressed a small envelope into his hand. Daniel tried to refuse. "Please," she said, "let us help you this time." Inside the envelope was enough money to buy groceries for a week. Daniel cried later, alone. Over the next days, things changed slowly, not magically, slowly. A veteran support group reached out. A local business owner offered him part-time work. A family helped him find a small apartment near the edge of the city, nothing fancy, but warm. Daniel took a city bus for the first time in months, heading to a job interview. He sat by the window, watching the park disappear behind him. His hands shook, but not from hunger. When he got the job, he called Emily. "I'm working again," he told her. "I knew you would," she said. Those words stayed with him. Daniel did not forget the park. On his days off, he returned, sometimes with sandwiches, sometimes with nothing but time. He sat with people others ignored. He listened. One evening, he saw the elderly man again. They shared a quiet smile. The city still moved fast, cars still rushed, motorbikes still passed too close, but something had shifted. Not just for Daniel. Thousands of people who watched that video did something small afterward, bought someone a meal, called an old friend, gave without cameras. Daniel's kindness had not ended his struggle, but it had given it meaning. Daniel's life did not become perfect, and that matters. He still worried about bills. He still woke some nights thinking about the past. But now, when he walked through Franklin Park, people knew his name, not because he was famous, but because he was human. On a clear afternoon, Daniel sat on the grass with Emily. Planes crossed the sky above them, faint and steady. "Daddy," she asked, "why did you give your food away?" Daniel thought for a moment. "Because sometimes," he said, "helping someone else reminds you who you are." Emily nodded like that made sense. In a world full of noise, Daniel had made one quiet choice. And it echoed. Dear viewers, if this story moved you, please understand something important. This is not just Daniel's story. It is about what happens when kindness appears in ordinary places, on a park bench, near a grocery store, in a moment where no one expects anything good to happen. You never know who is watching your small decisions. You never know how far one gentle act can travel. If you believe stories like this matter, please like this video so more people can see it. Share it with your friends, your family, and anyone who needs hope today. And if you want to continue hearing real stories that restore faith in humanity, please subscribe to our channel, Kindness Quest. Your support helps these stories reach the hearts that need them most. Thank you for listening.